Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at Morpho. I know I did cover this token I think like 10 days ago or like 15 days ago, but again we are looking at it again. There is a reason for that. So the reason is really simple. So this was my analysis in the last video, as you can see here, and it seems like that this setup did play out when it lost it when it went below this trend line. As you can see, after going like below from this trend line, it actually went as low as like 55 cents, but again it recovered really fast, and as of now it is holding this trend line really well. So there is a possibility that this setup may actually work out. Anyways, we'll look at it at the end, but before that, let's just analyze the Morpho itself, what is happening around the Morpho as of now. So if you don't know what the Morpho is, it is basically like the universal lending network. So it is like similar to Aave, as you can see, but the difference between Morpho and the Aave is that again the Aave does have a massive TVL, but the Morpho has a massive support for the chains. As you can see, it is supported over 28 chains, whereas Aave is Aave supports like 18 chains as of now. But again, the Morpho does have edge when it comes to the chain. As you can see here, there are a lot of chains that are supported on the Morpho, and they did launch their like Vault 2 version. They basically launched their Vault version 2, as you can see here, and because of that the Morpho has been doing really well, as you can see. Now as of now it is losing its TVL, and compared to Aave, Aave has lost around 8.12%, as you can see, and the Morpho has lost around like 10%, but again I think it is much lower than others. So even if we look at the Pendle, that has lost over 53%, and even if we look at Babylon, or even if we look at EtherFi, that has lost over 14%, I think Morpho is somewhat looking good. Again, the interesting thing is that the Sky is doing well, but again this is not the video about the Sky, so we won't look at Sky for now. Anyways, now if we look at the Morpho, they have their different vaults, as you can see. So I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the Morpho at this point. Anyways, now moving on to its TVL, if we look at like the earnings are doing somewhat good, I would say. They were losing in Q4, again in Q1 2025, but again as of now in Q4 they are still like doing pretty well, I would say. In terms of like their TVL, if we just look at the breakdown of the TVL, it should be like, I think the biggest one was supposed to be, and the biggest one is Ethereum, followed by the base. There was, I think, Plasma as well, but let's see. So never mind, the Plasma was on the Aave, but again as of now there is Katana, and I think Katana is like the fake one, because there are probably a lot of users who are expecting like airdrop on Katana, so we can just like minus that as well. But again, overall I think the TVL is doing really well on the Morpho, and I think it could be actually heading for that new all-time high as well if the market does recover. So as of now, if you look at the news, they did launch their like Vault version 2, and because of that the token like did get a lot of hype, and the token did go up, as you can see. But as of now, the only issue with the Morpho would be that its tokenomics is pretty bad, as you can see. So if you don't know about the Morpho's tokenomics, it has a max supply of 1 billion, out of which half of it is in the circulation, around 522. And if you look at the token unlocks as of now, so basically they gave out like 275 million tokens to the strategic partners, so I think they are most probably investors. And as of now, there is like monthly, so if you just look here, out of like 275, as of now these strategic partners have received over, I think, 179 million tokens. That is like a pretty big allocation, but again they are like getting tokens on a monthly basis, and that could be a bit of problematic. So even if you look here, whenever Morpho does go down, it sees these massive like whenever it does go down, as you can see here, these are the massive sell pressure, and I think that is most probably like coming from these investors. That is my guess, I'm not sure, but again that is what I can look at whenever I look at the Morpho. Again, if you look here, massive like sell pressure from 2.22 to as low as 1.5. Again, same thing happened here, it went from 2.86 to like as low as 1.69. Same thing happened here. Even if you look here, now even if you look here, the token did go from 2.2 to as low as like 54 cent, I would say. Again, this is like a massive sell pressure, but again, despite that, there is like a significant demand for the Morpho, and because of that, the token does continues to recover. Even if you look here now, as of now, I will just read these like setups. So again, even so if you look at the Morpho as of now, this setup seems like is really strong, and if it does play out, let's say that if the Morpho does slowly breaks above from this trend line, I think it could actually see a really good surge. So it can potentially go as high as like 2.35 or even 2.51, or sorry, 2.52. And if like the breakout is massive, it can actually push above 2.87, which is its like August high, as you can see. As of now, I think we can definitely see 60% surge from the Morpho as of now, because if we look at the price, it actually remains really bullish because it is holding this trend line really well. Again, we'll see when it does go up, but again, it also depends on the BTC as well. If the BTC does go below, let's say if the BTC does go below like 100k, that could be really big, I think, even for all the other alts. And if that happens, I think the possibility of like Morpho hitting $1 is there, because if you look at these massive crashes, if we just look at these massive crashes in the past, same thing happened. So I think if the BTC does loses like below 100k, I think Morpho could see a really good correction. It could be as low as 1.31, or it could also be as low as $1. But again, as of now, it can just go up. As of now, that is another thing that we can expect, because it seems like that it wants to break above from here, and the setup also seems like a really good one. So let's see what happens. But overall, as of now, I would be expecting like this massive breakout pretty much soon. But again, to do that, it does need to go above like 1.86 as well, and it can also reject from here as well. So that is something we should know as well. And if it does reject from here, and if it doesn't hold this trend line, we could see a massive crash. But it can also do this, so it can just go as high as this, and after that it can hit this, and we could see a really good breakout from here as well. Again, that could also work out, and it can go either way as of now. But again, as of now, it seems like that it wants to go up. So let's see what happens. For overall, I think looking at its chart, it's looking really bullish, but its TVL is like going down, so that is something you should know. And again, you should remember that it does have a massive sell pressure whenever it does go down from these, most probably from these strategic partners. Again, I don't think that they can sell all of it at once, so they do need volume, so they could be like taking profits slowly. But again, that is something you should know. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.